What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today's clip, we're looking at H3, Ethan Klein, talking about Sneako. And one thing that's interesting about this is that I know like Bradley Martin and Steiny are kind of like dogs with Sneako, but they kind of burned him in the sense that at the very tip top of this episode or this podcast, like they played the clip.
Actually, just a gross, terrible human being. Also teabagged. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but he is acting.
Like, check this out. Like right off the bat, this is like the first frame of the podcast, and this is like what they opened with.
Just a gross, terrible human being. Also teabagged. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but he's like mega alpha, and he's been teabagged by a man, balls in his mouth, basically, while his girl was getting. You didn't know? You don't know that story?
Well, I know about it, but I don't know about him getting teabagged.
Yeah, basically, he said he was going down on his girl while a dude was
You
her from
like
the back.
you see what I mean? Like they literally. It's weird because I feel like they simultaneously didn't like that Ethan was bringing this up because they didn't want to have problems with their friend Sneako, but they played this at the beginning of the episode. Like literally, this ended up pissing him off later in this episode, and they literally opened with this and like, look, I mean, I get it, it's juicy.
Oh no, sorry, no, I got it wrong. He was,
but I just don't get why they're backing him. I don't get why they're backing up Sneako so much, and like trying. I feel like they were trying to avoid this thing that Ethan wanted to talk about, but they opened up with it. So like they want to avoid talking about it, but they're not gonna like not get juiced up.
Girl, as a dude was under him, his balls were right on a dude's face.
Like, this is
so he was teabagging another man.
Crazy. That's the clip I'm talking about. So let's actually watch that clip together. Let's go.
So it's just like, that's what I'm telling you. I don't know what's genuine, what's not.
I would love to talk to Sneako. In his specific, I did a lot of like Holocaust debating with Fresh and Fit, and it was pretty disturbing just how like down the conspiracy hole they are with specifically with Jewish people.
You think that's real though, or is that for, like we were talking about, engagement?
Why
Let's be real. Well, I'll tell you why. Because there's a lot more Muslims out there than there are Jews.
Listen, if it's fake, I don't give a. He's still saying it. He's still denying the Holocaust.
That's a great point.
Online.
It's like, okay, like, are we sure? Like, are we sure you really feel what you're saying, or is it just for views? Because if it's just for views, then that's acceptable, even though, like, there are real life, repercussions to, in this case, anti-Semitism, right? So it's like if somebody's being anti-Semitic, and they're doing it for like clout or views or whatever, like, that doesn't really matter because things still happen. It still perpetuates like anti-Semitism and has negative effects for Jewish people. So I think that's what Ethan's basically trying to tell him. Like, there's more important things than views, especially when it comes to something so big like that.
Bro, ask Myron how many people died in the Holocaust. Call him right now and ask him. Call him right now and ask him.
Let's make this as positive as possible.
All right. Well, at any rate, I would
know.
think about debating Sneako. The only thing with him is that like he's such a piece of shit that I don't even know if the conversation's worth having. But I do think that it would be. I genuinely, I'm thinking about it. I think it could be good. He's
You
the
gotta
only.
do it.
I thought he did.
Go ahead.
He mentioned him.
I thought they did try to do it, but like they disagreed because Sneako wanted to do it in person and they wanted to do it. Ethan wanted to do it online. But I feel like that's the case with a lot of these people they tried to interview. So maybe with somebody else.
He had said that he wanted to, and then you didn't want to do it.
So what happened was,
Like recently.
yeah, something happened where I was calling him out.
By the way, side note, this studio looks really nice. I love the colors and lighting.
And I think we had both said like, oh, let's debate. And then I think there was just not a lot of enthusiasm about it on my.
Wait, didn't he back out? I thought maybe he backed out and didn't want to do it, or switched up and wanted to do it. I don't remember. I remember something
in the audience just because like he is actually just a gross, terrible human being. Also teabagged. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but he's like mega alpha, and he's been teabagged by a man, balls in his mouth, basically, while his girl was getting. You didn't know? You don't know that story?
Well, I know about it, but I don't know about him getting teabagged.
Yeah, basically, he said he was going down on his girl while a dude was fucking her from the back, and
He said those words.
Or no, sorry, no, I got it wrong. He was fucking his girl as a dude was under him. His balls were right on a dude's face, so he was teabagging another man.
I don't think Sneako ever. That might be AI. I can never. Picture.
See, like I don't understand why these guys ride so hard for each other. It's like, first, okay, it's AI, right? That's probably AI. There's no way that's true. And then later on in this clip, he shows them like, hey, here's the clip, and they're like, oh, I don't want to watch it. And I don't know. I think it happens to like Bradley Martin, like tries to act like he poses as if he's neutral and impartial, but always with his line of maybe questioning and pushback. You can tell he's like clearly on this like side of Sneako and not even just Sneako, but in general, just conservative like things in general. I mean, from what I've noticed, and I don't even know if Ethan picks up on it, honestly. I mean, I would assume so, but he doesn't really. I mean, he's still really cool with Bradley Martin, whatever. But it always seems like Bradley's always like he's like acting neutral while at the same time pushing back only for like, you know, what he's trying to protect, which is a lot of times conservative stuff, or like in this case, Sneako.
Picture Sneako saying that.
No, I cannot. Yo, can you pull this
That's
up?
got to be AI.
Hold on, it has to be AI.
Right? It's got to be AI. It's not true. We're denying it.
You guys
And then when it comes around and then they see that it's not AI, it's like, oh, he owned it though. He talked about this already, so therefore it's cool. Or he owned it. Or I don't want to, like, they just didn't want to see it. So it's like, I feel like a lot of times it's always hard to, and Ethan typically does a pretty good job at this. It's hard to like pin these guys down on anything. It's like, a lot of times Ethan's good about like finding out, okay, trying to get, what do you believe? Like, what is it that you're saying? And then that way we have a basis to go off of. And I feel like I'm rambling a little bit here, but I just feel like these guys are very slippery in the sense that they just always shift and bend the goalposts all the time.
Because I know that he's talked about that before, but not
Sneako,
this
even though you hate
detail.
my people, bro, I try and fight for you, but
you shouldn't.
You're making
bro.
it-
Why you got to prop up people that want your whole?
I'll tell you because
The question he was gonna ask, like, why do you got to prop up people that are like, you know, anti-Semitic, basically? Tiny's like, because he helped me out with my career, bro. He's loyal to me.
I started
Which by the way, I do kind of get to an extent, right? Like you, especially when they're in an unconventional industry like them, and you know, I think it's hard. It's probably hard for them to find friends, and it's gonna be hard to like. They probably feel like they're turning their back on somebody who potentially helped them or had their back in the past. So I mean, I kind of get it, but doesn't make it right.
he respected me and he with me. And
Okay.
so I appreciate
I see.
appreciate that.
Once in a while, use a condom and like one night stands, whatever, and then she can go on dates, but she doesn't have sex with them. She just likes to be taken out of dates. Negotiate that out of curiosity. Because that's
How long ago was this?
So already we're starting to see, right? First, it was AI. Then they pull up the video. It doesn't look like AI. How long ago was this, right? That's like the first, I guess, objection you could say.
Not that long ago. A few years.
And you know what? Maybe I'm mistaken because I don't watch Bradley's content that much. Maybe he has this much grace for everybody and is always trying to look for things like the other way, no matter who it is. But because I've only seen him with Ethan, and I feel like they kind of have contradicting views a lot, it always seems like he's not confrontational, but always like trying to subtly defend his side, whether it's people or topics. And that's cool, but sometimes I feel like he's not upfront about it and be like, this is what I think, and let me debate you head on, or let's have this discussion head on. It's always like, I don't know, like, I'm chill with everybody, everything's neutral, but then I'm going to question you and give you pushback on specific things that I don't, in this case, you know, trying to back up Sneako. In other cases, probably like, you know, I think there's like some COVID stuff that you know, he was trying to back up.
happens. What? Yeah, so we go in there with the mentality that whatever happens inside that party just stays at the party. Like, yeah. And so I saw her. I've seen her fuck other men, and it's just like that was. Seen it? Yeah, I saw like literally right. Can't be no
Now, can I pause it for a minute? Now, I'm not one to judge people's sexual private life, but this is a guy who preaches alphaness and calls women sluts and like thinks that like he believes in like chastity and all this. And here, keep going, it gets worse.
But you don't believe people can change, though, no?
Here we go. Another objection. You don't believe people can change. Ethan was just bringing up the fact that Sneako's like this alpha dude who's like, you know, is probably against this type of thing, right? Like definitely, like right, like it's especially in those circles, it's all about cuck this and cuck that, and like it literally it happened to him. And that's the point he's trying to make. Ethan's trying to make this point of like, look, there's nothing wrong with that. People can do whatever they want, but it's kind of ironic coming from him, who has these type of views, and Bradley pushes back. Oh, but you don't think people can change, right? So you see what I mean? Like, he's always pushing back. Like, he should just flat out say he's defending Sneako. Like, that's his homie, and if he has a problem with it, they shouldn't even show the video. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I do believe people can change. Yeah,
because I don't think he's
But
the same.
do you think he's someone that is like?
I know he's not doing it no more. I don't believe so.
No,
and I think he's talked openly about the fact that like this wasn't the
If
best.
he's talking openly
choice.
about this, then that's
So
different.
so was it AI? Did they think it was AI or not? It's like, oh, it was AI. Oh, he talked about this already. How long ago was this? You don't think people can change? You see what I mean?
Yes.
You
Yeah.
sure?
You're sure about that?
Yeah,
He's
you sure
talked about
that?
this.
But
Let's
and
keep
there's
watching it.
nothing
Let's keep
wrong
watching
with
it.
if they want to back up their homie. It's just like, I don't know. I guess from Bradley, I feel like he's not very straightforward about it. Like, I feel like he wouldn't open. Maybe he has, but I feel like he wouldn't openly be like, yeah, Sneako's my homie. I'm gonna back him up. I don't want to talk about this.
Good.
That's fantastic. So I wanted to break this down, like, because this was imagine seeing the girl you love, like, get. Yeah, I do. I love
The way he said that, I couldn't.
3 years.
Look at these guys. They're both right here, like holding their hands out of discomfort. You can tell they're uncomfortable. And Ethan's watching this like a freaking movie.
Take it to the circus. So can she enjoy it? Like, what if she's enjoying it too much? That's the thing. Like, it's like she's moving pretty loud. Like, I don't know like how much you. I didn't expect you to more loud. Huh? She's more loud. So all right. So we want to tune it up.
See, that's so hard. I think that's so hard coming from Sneako because, like, from what I've seen, he's this alpha bro. He's this dude who's like, like tough and definitely not gonna let a woman cuck him. And he's probably has some misogynistic views and whatever. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of people like that online who are making money doing that, but that just sets him up so much worse for a video like this, because now he has to apply those same judgments and worldview that he has, and he's got to apply it to himself, and that's probably really hard to do coming from his perspective.
The first time, crazy. The first time, as soon as I saw like 3 pumps in, I just got up and walked. I'm just like, I can't do that. That's literally.
Look at that. Look at that. Sneako's talking about 3 pumps in, and then he had to walk away. I mean, rightfully so. I mean, what not many men would be able to survive that. Look.
Hold on. We went on 2 different occasions. The first time, crazy. The first time, as soon as I saw like 3 pumps in, I just got up and walked.
Got up and walked. He just admitted something kind of crazy. Steiny looks at Bradley. Bradley's like, oh,
Then he went
shoot.
back.
Okay, yo, can you pause it?
Then he went back. That was the first time.
I don't know. This whole thing is like now I'm mind blown.
You didn't know about this?
No.
He's talked about this.
So Bradley's now trying to like kind of minimize it. Like, Steiny's saying he's mind blown because it's rightfully so. Because if he's never seen anything like this, if he's never seen this video and he's only seen Sneako talk about like, on his alpha high chair, this is kind of eye opening. You would never assume something like this from somebody like him. And I feel like Bradley right here is trying to back him up. Like, bro, this is normal, bro. This is totally chill. This is like happens all the time. This is not a big deal. Like, come on, he talked about it. He owned it. It's in the past. It's all good.
I don't pay that
I
much
don't know.
attention
What
to
did he
it.
say about it? I'm curious.
I
I don't know.
I think he was essentially saying like it wasn't something that, looking back, that he would ever do again. That it was a good idea and all that.
Right.
I'd be curious.
And then the way Ethan is sitting here is hilarious. I just feel like he looks like he had been talking about like he kind of is jealous of these little girly podcasts where they get in their PJs and sit on the couch like this. And look at him. There he goes. He's talking about his own drama.
If Sneako lends that generosity to people who he thinks are immoral or
Right.
Degenerates or,
You mean
any
the
of
same
his
sort of?
enemies.
I see what you're saying.
Well, there he's preaching equality. There, you got to agree with him. There.
Yeah, I agree. It's certain.
And it's like, here's another defense. Oh, well, he's preaching equality, right? If he can go out and have other sexual partners, then she should be able to do the same. And that would make sense if that were still his view and that was still his worldview, and that's just what he believes, and he just wants to believe in equality, but they're in an open relationship, then, that's great for them. But, like, that's clearly not what he thinks now. But Steiny is trying to defend him from that angle, like, hey, you agree with what he said, right? Even though he doesn't agree with what he said now. So it's like they're just trying to find any little thing to try to defend their boy. And I wonder why. Like, Steiny says that he helped him out, like, way back when, and he was always on his side. But I would never think that Bradley would owe this guy anything. But maybe he does. I mean, maybe Sneako will help them all out, and they have to be kind of loyal to him. That's what it kind of seems
Not
like.
his opinion now either.
He said, "If I'm gonna do it, she gets to do it."
Yeah,
so
certainly
you
not
got to
how he
agree.
feels.
There's something we can agree on there.
I'm not
He did
liking
say
any of this.
equality.
I'll be
Keep
honest.
going, bro. Keep
I hate all of this.
now Bradley says he doesn't like it. Okay, so if I can remember correctly, first it was AI. Then it's, he talked about this already. It's not a big deal. He wouldn't do it anymore. Dang, I'm forgetting what else. But now he just doesn't like it. And that's true. That's honest. He doesn't like it because Sneako's his homie, and he doesn't like putting this out there like that.
It's all
This is honestly, making me a little uncomfortable. Not gonna
This is
lie.
one
And
of my
now it's
favorite clips,
uncomfortable.
my friends.
Which is understandable. I'm kind of uncomfortable watching this too.
This man was sitting on the bed as his girlfriend was getting railed by
And
King
Ethan is just
Dong. And like
he's just
literally
digging
crying.
deeper.
Dude,
Like these
that's
guys are
like
already don't want to talk about this. And I think Ethan sees this and he's just pushing even more. And that's what he does best. And that's why people love
the
him.
worst cuck story you could ever dream. And I'm saying if this happened to me, I would take this to the mother loving grave. But he's out here like
He owned it. He did own it.
Well,
He owned it. You know what I mean? It's like they're trying to save face for Sneako so bad no matter what, right? He owned it now. It's all good.
well,
He did.
Right? Even though Sneako, if he, let's say this was a flip side, and let's say Ethan talked about this, and it's something that happened to Ethan. Even these guys, would these guys or Sneako be like, you know what, that was in the past, and you know he owned it, dude. Like there's nothing you can say about it now. He owned it, so it's all good. I doubt it.
keep going. Keep going.
I don't
keep
want to
going.
watch any more of this.
No,
We
come on,
just-
come
we
on,
get
come
the
on.
That's
gist.
honest. Bradley said he's uncomfortable. Steiny's saying he doesn't want to watch it.
I think we get the gist.
No,
of
no,
it
no,
right
no, no.
away.
That's
So you
honest.
didn't.
Okay.
Again, I
bit-
think they're just so uncomfortable because for whatever reason, I have no idea what the relationship is with Sneako, but for whatever reason, it seems like they're vested in like trying to protect his image for whatever reason, or trying to protect their friendship. Because if you think about it, this is like good content. This is pretty juicy. If they didn't have anything to do with him, they probably would not care at all. They would want this. They wouldn't mind Ethan digging so deep, and they wouldn't mind watching this stuff. So I wonder why. I wonder why they're so like. It's so important for them to protect Sneako.
And then she left too. Like, why you leave the room? I couldn't, like, I was literally having PTSD watching that. I was like having war flash. Like, I just started, could not do it.
And honestly, Sneako, like saying stuff like that, like honestly, that's super, super vulnerable. I do wonder what he was trying to do, even in this moment when he was talking to them, with the other podcast people there. Like, what was he? I don't know. Maybe he was trying to be open about it, but it wasn't like he was like talking about like it was a bad experience. It was kind of like I think he thought it would be funny. It seems like, and I don't know.
Missionary legs up. Like, missionary legs up, yeah. Oh, no. Deep eye contact.
Deep eye contact.
You know, maybe he could have maybe he was just trying to own it, and maybe he actually was trying to do that, and he could have probably done it, but it seems, I don't know, the energy I'm getting from it, it's kind of like he's trying to own it, and he knows he's getting a reaction from everybody because everybody's just like so shocked and getting kind of grossed out. But it seems like he's a little insecure about it, even in the clip where he's talking about it. Obviously, I think he is now, like we see later on. But even in this clip where he's talking to the other podcast hosts, he's like insecure about it a little bit. Like he's kind of in the middle of like owning it and a little insecure about it. Because I feel like if he doubled down and owned it even more and everybody's freaking out and he's just like, yeah, dude, like this is what we do. It's all good. Like what you like if he started acting like they're the crazy ones, like, dude, you guys haven't lived until you've, you know, I don't even want to say it. It's pretty wild. But like, if he was going to own it, I felt like he had a better shot just owning it a little bit more.
Oh,
Like, just
pause
fully
that part
doubling
gets
down.
Me so bad. Deep eye contact, and she grabs his dick and says, "I want you to f me."
Bro, I thought I got freaky. This is a all way other level for me.
Yeah. I would never do it.
See, like, it's so many details. If he were just like, yeah, dude, like, she was loving it, and like, So was I. I don't know. It seems like he's aware of the attention and he likes the reaction because they're freaking out and it's an interesting story, obviously. But I feel like he's on the fence a little bit about how he feels about it in this moment.
Like, I'm like, dude, this whole point is like, I'm nervous.
I feel like right here he's still like
I literally had PTSD about this. Like, I had bad dreams about this.
he's being open about it. He's had PTSD about it.
So we showed this party and everything, and everybody like we were having drinks, and then all of a sudden, snap, everyone's naked, and then on the floor, and the bed was there's like 40 people. There's like
40?
30, 40 people. 15 couples? Where y'all at in the fall? Yeah, 15 couples, 30 balls.
You know, like, because I'm trying to think about like what, like, in some ways it seems like he's owning it and he's talking about it and like he's given all these details. And in some ways I'm like, well, what is he showing that makes him seem like a little insecure? And it's like, for example, at first when he said, oh, when one of his co-hosts asked him like, oh, were you in a room with naked guys? And he's like, he kind of like danced around it. And then he goes, yeah, I was. Like that kind of shows that he wasn't like fully ready to commit and just be like, yeah, that's just a life I lead, baby. Like, you're missing out.
He counting the balls, y'all.
He's a little nervous. Touch his neck a little.
This is the part when he teabags another man.
I feel like we gotta call Sneako, dude. Holy shit.
Colin.
Yeah, call him.
Right here, it seems like Bradley just kind of gave up. Like, I feel like he probably feels like he's totally out of options as far as trying to defend his guy. And now he's like, you know what? We got to call Sneako so he can defend himself because I don't know how.
And ask him first how many Jews died in the Holocaust.
Here.
His eyebrows were like tickling the bottom, and I had to like move, like go like that so I don't make contact.
That's
His eyebrows
great.
were, like,
That's
tickling.
crazy.
I'm like here with it. Like I'm trying to not.
Sneako's out here giving a demonstration, looking like a, what are those stick bug things, whatever you call them.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's crazy.
Again, like he's, I think, like overtly homophobic, and that's the gayest I've ever heard. He said a man was tickling his ball sacks with his eyelashes, which is cute.
They can't say anything. I think they want to. I think they want to defend it, but they can't. They have no angle on how to defend him, but they want to defend him.
Called him earlier.
He's getting sorry. I'm busy teabagging another man.
Oh my god.
Oh, I can feel your eyelashes tickling my balls right there.
I feel like we need to get a hold of him because it's like he's not
Yeah,
able to defend
can
himself.
Can we
Defend himself from what? Trying to defend himself from himself. It's like they just showed a video of him talking about an experience, and now they got to call him to defend himself. Really, what it is they can't defend him. They tried their best. They tried every angle, but they couldn't figure it out. So they're like, you know what? Here, you do this, Sneako, because we can't do your dirty work here.
Yo. All right, guys, quick order for the podcast. Green
Great
Chef.
cut.
Check this
Great
out.
cut.
Green Chef is a meal delivery.
They know what they got.
answer my call the other day? I did.
We're on a podcast.
We're on a podcast. I'm staying completely out of this. This is between two people. Should we have him ask him?
No, not.
Again, Steiny probably feels like he owes him more because he didn't even want to be a part of it, like at all.
Ethan is here.
See, and they didn't betray their friend by surprising him with Ethan, so that's why he let him know ahead of time. Because I feel like if he didn't, he'd probably feel like he was backstabbing him. Again, I don't know what these guys owe him. I don't know why they're friends. Like, I don't know. There's got to be something to it, though.
Do you want me to ask him? I don't feel
want
comfortable
to.
asking it.
Okay,
Ask
here.
him?
Yeah.
All right.
Yo, Sneako, I'm gonna.
But
Tell
Bradley
I
is
didn't
a
want
little.
to know-
I mean, he has to be a little game to like. I mean, he called him. He ended up getting him on FaceTime. So like, I think while Bradley does seem to like try to defend his boy, it's a little more open and a little less so than Steiny.
I showed-
go ahead.
Bradley is a little, you know.
Mad love.
He's his own
this
guy.
Podcast. I've said, yo, Sneako's been
true.
respectful. Have I not?
No, you've talked very kindly of him.
I said, yo, I respect Sneako. He asked me why. I said, yo, he's me since day one. He's never switched up. So I've said that. But he brings
He feels like he has to cover his bases. Like, I don't know what Sneako did from, but it must have been really, really helpful, really good because
a clip about you talking about a sex party.
Where do
a sex party, and then Ethan makes sure he's about to clarify.
the part where some dude's eyelashes tickled your balls?
I can't hear what he said.
You heard
Here,
that.
I want to do it.
He's
I can't hear what he say. Ethan, look at this psycho. Look at this psycho. He's like thriving from it. I don't think I've ever seen him this happy. And I watched a lot of his podcasts. Look at this guy.
He's talking about this video.
Like everyone's super uncomfortable, and he's just thriving in this. He's like,
Hey, hear him?
yeah,
Hold on.
he's
Can the
looking at
audience
his
hear him?
chaps.
Yeah, if they're on
So
here.
he goes, sorry, what was that? I was like, yeah, you heard me. You heard that.
Okay, what does this have to do with the podcast?
Well,
Trying to divert. What's this got to do with the podcast? What, like, well, what it's got to do with the podcast is that we spent the last 15 minutes talking about your sex party.
I don't know necessarily how we
Like-
got here now at this point. I'm a little confused,
Just
but
ask.
Bradley also wants to like make sure that like, hey, I kind of distance himself from the situation. I don't know how we got
Jews
here.
died in the Holocaust.
Ethan wants me to ask you how many Jews died in the Holocaust. I have no idea.
Put the phone up to the speaker. Yeah.
Okay, so what does this have to do with the video? you're
Don't
playing?
answer.
What's,
Don't judge.
What is it? I don't.
Come on, bro.
what are you
Just
trying to do?
answer.
Ethan is so good at like trying to like stick to the.
No, so
He's
because
dodging.
I was saying that he should
secret.
debate you, and then we started talking about you, and then he started like giving his opinion on you, and then
I think right here, if I had to guess, I think Sneako's already pissed. And Bradley probably senses this, and that's why he's trying to explain how he got there. But I have a feeling he's already pissed. He's already pissed that Ethan is even there, and he's probably pretty pissed that this video that Ethan's talked about several times about this experience, this weird experience that Sneako had, and that he probably regrets. It's one thing to have that experience and his story being told on Ethan's show, but now it's being told on Bradley's show or whoever's show this is, and it's a little closer to Sneako's audience because they're friends and they're closer. I'm assuming they're kind of closer and they probably have a little bit more overlap in fans. So I think he's pissed here. I think he's pissed, and a part of that has to do with the fact that maybe some of his audience who hadn't previously seen the video are now exposed to his video.
Instead of playing
Talking
these
about
clips and
that.
trying to do like common snaky tactics, like we could do the debate that he called out for. If he's too afraid to do it, then it's
Ask
fine.
him
Like, he
to
can
stop.
continue to do the same
Can I talk to
tactics
him?
that
I'll
we've
talk to
seen.
him.
yeah,
I'll give a
yeah,
fuck.
yeah. Here.
That's pretty ballsy.
Hey, Sneako.
Use the mic.
You called to do this debate.
Sneako, can you hear me?
He's so angry.
Yes.
Can you hear him? Is it picking
You just got to
up?
put him like this against the mic.
Where's the speaker on the top?
It's on the bottom. The bottom.
Oh, the bottom. Sneako, how many Jews died in the Holocaust?
Boom, right to it.
We'll do the debate that you all called for whenever you want
Just-
to do it.
it's
We don't
such
need to
a
do
simple
this.
question.
I'm not gonna do this on FaceTime with you.
Why?
You know how I feel about what you talk about and everything you do.
How many Jews died in the Holocaust? Why?
That's
That's such a easy. That's like a softball, right?
To somebody who doesn't know this, because I feel like I wouldn't know that right off the bat, but I think because they're more they talk about this, and it seems like Ethan's claiming Sneako is like a Holocaust denier. Sneako probably knows what it's supposed to be and what's reported and doesn't believe that, and doesn't want to be pressured on his opinion because he has his opinion. He's not going to change it. I don't know what vested interest he has in keeping that opinion, but he doesn't want to talk about that right here, right now.
I mean, I wasn't there. How many?
There you
What
go.
do you think?
And actually, that's an answer right there. He said he wasn't there.
Everything you do.
How many Jews died in the Holocaust?
Basically, not trying to answer because he knows that his answer is probably not good.
That's
to
such
say
an
the least.
easy. That's like a softball, right?
I mean, I wasn't there. How many?
There you go.
What do you think?
Well, I mean, it's about 6 million, right? Is the general historical estimate?
Yeah, it was exactly that. No more, no less. It was exactly that.
Boom. It was exactly that, no more or less. He's being super sarcastic, kind of saying that's not true. If
Why-
I were to interpret that, the only way I can interpret that is him saying that's not true, right? Otherwise, why would he be sarcastic on that figure?
So
about this then.
that's like the dumbest, lowest IQ take ever. Do you really think people are
if it's
saying?
so,
Hold on,
you're
Sneako.
afraid
Do you
to
really
think
think
about
people are saying that
If it's
exactly
stop
6
running,
million
you call.
Jews died? Like, I
It was
mean,
exactly that. Yeah.
so you're pretty dumb in bad faith if that's where you're starting from.
All right. If I'm so dumb, then do the thing that you call for.
You said you weren't at the Holocaust, so you don't know. You're a Muslim, right?
Oh man, these two are so uncomfortable.
Are you hesitating on that one too? Do you not know?
You know the answer to
Sneako's getting super pissed, I think.
questions.
What do you say?
He said, "You know the answer to these questions."
Yeah.
Well, were you there when like Muhammad flew a horse, winged horse to heaven?
What are you talking about?
Were you there? Then how do you know it happened? See, we have to. Things happen and they're documented historically, and we can't pick and choose what we believe in. Like, if you want to actually go through the evidence and see like the meticulous documenting that the Nazis did, they couldn't have kept the records better. But you're going to say,
I think it's tiny. I kind of feel bad for him. He is not liking
and
this
say I
at
wasn't
all.
there. I mean, you obviously don't believe that you believe the Holocaust was greatly exaggerated. At least admit to that.
Nope, I said it's exactly what they said it was.
Why I don't understand why Sneako feels comfortable being sarcastic about it, saying, "Oh, I said it's exactly what they said that it is," but he doesn't feel comfortable saying like exactly what he thinks. I don't know what that's about. Can somebody tell me what is that about? Why can't he just say, right, what he believes, even if it's wrong? Is it because I don't know? Is it because he kind of wants to perpetuate that within like his own little circle, and doesn't want to say that on like a more like a broader platform like Bradley's podcast, because he knows it'll be easier to criticize? I don't know. And why does he even believe that? Like, is he really that like not believing in history? Or is he profiting from it? I don't know. I wonder sometimes.
Exactly 6 million, no more, no less.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
And do you still dream about a fellow's eyelashes tickling your balls when you jerk off? Because I bet that felt pretty good. Oh, it's,
Say this to my face when I see you.
why are you mad?
See, so he's mad about it. So that's what's interesting. Sneako's mad about Ethan asking him, obviously, right, like an like an inflammatory question, I guess. I don't know if you would call it, but he's like poking and prodding at him, but it's something that he said on video. Like, how come Sneako doesn't say like, "Yo, that was back then. I moved on for that. Like, congratulations, you're super mature, dude. Like, obviously, I don't like that, but you know," and he can't do that because he's so against this type of thing and homosexuality and stuff like that. So him being vulnerable and describing a situation that's like Ethan kind of mentioned, like, you know, everything's on a spectrum, but for these guys in this world, that's homosexual. So because he, I think, has that judgment, that outward judgment, this is a scenario where I feel like he has to put that to himself, and he has to judge himself using that same measurement, and that pisses him off. That's what I'm getting from this. So much so he's doing violence. It's like, "Yo, say it to my face." Which, when you say that, I feel like you kind of already lost the debate, or there's not a debate, but like your talking point. Like, if you can't defend yourself using, you know, words, and you're like, "Yo, I'm gonna fight you," it's like, okay, 1 + 1 is 3. No, it's not. All right, bro, let's freaking fight.
Why are you mad? Because I can imagine that felt really good.
And this is honestly kind of sad, I think, because I feel like this kind of shows how real it is for him. Like, it's not a joke to him. Like, sometimes when I see characters like Sneako who perpetuate the stuff that he perpetuates, sometimes you kind of wonder, like, does he even believe any of this stuff? Like, is he just saying it for views? Is he just like, you know, is it just for attention, like to shock people? But in this case, it seems like he might believe some of that stuff, and it probably hurts him a lot that he, first of all, did this thing, or that this thing happened to him at the sex party, and that he talked about it publicly, and now it's being brought up. The fact that he's getting mad for whatever reason, I feel like makes it seem that his thoughts are more genuine, and it's just kind of sad because he does seem like maybe an angry person who's insecure about stuff like that. And of course, I think anybody would be if you're being judgmental. Typically speaking, I feel like if you're judgmental towards people, like you're gonna have that same judgment toward yourself, and that's a hard way to go about life.
I mean, I like my balls tickled.
Look in your wife's eyes and you see that the IDF soldier that's genociding Palestinians. You feel good about that?
Well, it's mandatory
So Sneako here was like, instead of talking about or addressing that, is trying to, talk about something else.
So I mean, everybody's
mandatory?
yeah.
Yeah, so when you're with your wife and you see an IDF soldier,
Say what?
you're
I
happy.
feel like he's pulling a Boogie here, right? Because when Boogie was confronted about him lying about cancer, or whatever, he's like, "Whoa!" Boogie started talking about what's the term they say, like unaliving, right? And he starts talking about he just starts talking about something completely different. That's kind of what Sneako's doing here.
That's sharing a bed with an IDF soldier that's genociding Palestinians. That makes you happy?
Well, my wife hasn't killed anybody or participated in like combat, but like I do
And I
love
think
my
what
wife.
Sneako's doing here is kind of like
Pardon?
decent as far as like to get people thinking or caring about that, because it's like such a hot topic. All the stuff with Palestine and Israel, or the IDF. I mean, not Israel, I guess, but yeah, I guess Israel, Palestine, and Israel, the conflict over there. He's using that to be like, hey, Hila was in the IDF. Like, are you like? It's kind of like on the surface. It kind of like it's probably a decent strategy for somebody who's not thinking at all and is just like looking for a roast, not roast, but kind of like disses. Like, ooh, we got you on that. It's so fake though. It's so fake. It's like it's kind of a stretch, but I don't think it's that bad in terms of like, hey, your wife was part of the IDF. What'd you say about that? That's kind of what he's doing. I guess it's not that good, but I guess that's the best option he had.
That's committing genocide right now. You're comfortable sharing.
And he's
a bed
saying it
with
so
somebody who's
serious,
participating in
and
that?
he's doing a
She
good job
hasn't
at selling it, I
participated
think.
in that.
But the problem is he ultimately didn't look that good, because I feel like Ethan answered his questions, whereas he didn't answer Ethan's. So
No, she wasn't a part of the IDF.
Well, she was. She was part of the IDF, as all Israelis are. I love my wife, and I'm very proud and happy to share my bed with her. I'm very critical of the Israeli government, though, and I agree it's terrible what's happening there.
boom,
Do you
perfect
want to
answer.
tell me how many Jews died in the Holocaust, or how good it?
See, there we go. He's so great at that. He's like, okay, I'll answer your question. Da, da, da. He even like included some nuances. Like, I think it's terrible what's going on over there. He's been critical about it. Anyways, back to your point.
To get your balls tickled with
And
eyelash?
he won't answer.
Come, bro. You know what would be good? Next time, bring like a bird feather. That would be hot as shit. And just tickle the sack with that. That would be really exciting. All right. You see,
It looks like Steiny can't decide whether or not to smile. I feel like he wants to smile because obviously it's a little, Ethan's trying to be funny over here. But he can't because he's got a safe face and he doesn't want. Damn, that's sad for Sneako now I'm thinking about it. Even his homies that are backing him up are laughing. And it looks like right here, Steiny's trying not to
and
smile.
just tickle the sack with
Look,
that.
you'll see it. Smile,
That would
smile,
be
smile,
really
and that's serious.
exciting.
Uncomfortable. Right there.
All
He's
right.
like, this right here? That's for Sneako. Look at his face. This face right here? That's for Sneako. See that face right there? The Steiny's making right here? That's for Sneako. That's respect. He's trying to stretch out his face to prevent himself from smiling.
All right. You seem upset.
What is going on?
You seem upset. You seem upset. Well, I'll let you go.
Massage right now, but when I see you say all this to my
You
face,
gonna get a happy
So
ending there? Or no?
he's so upset about this. When I see you say it to my face, it's like, yeah, it's poor guy.
No, I'm not a deviant like you are. Give this
Okay.
all back to Bradley.
Oh, I'm not
He
a
doesn't know how to-
Mister. Usually I dab up my boys, but you nut up your boys. You go nut to nut with your boys. All right, here I'm gonna hand the phone back to Sneako. Enjoy your massage. You're gonna, Sorry that you're so mad during your massage. Sorry if I ruined that
No,
for
I'm
you.
great, man. I look forward to the debate you're running from.
Well,
But, damn, that's tough. I feel like Sneako's now saying he's running from. I don't know. Poor guy. I don't know. I don't
Literally
even know what to
talking
make of it because I just. I don't know, I guess I kind of feel bad.
On FaceTime right now, I'm very
Even
clearly-
though like I don't follow his content, but even though what I've seen from him, it's been some pretty crazy stuff that like I would never agree with in a million years. But I mean, it's like you got to feel bad in the sense of like how does somebody like that get created, and now like I don't know. I guess he's got to live with that. Got to live with himself, and that's hard. I think.
running from a debate. You're the one that's like, oh, stop asking me questions you know the answers to. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, I'm not here to talk about feathers with a 50-year-old man. I'll talk about Zionism when you're ready.
That's all you want to talk about.
There's nothing else to talk to you about. You don't stand for anything.
I guess what I meant, it was good that Sneako went for that because he's just trying to. It's not good. I don't think it's good, but I mean like the general peanut brained audience that's just watching, who are just not really thinking that deeply about it. I think it's a good play just because it's something that Ethan's been criticized before that people have tried to like get him for. So he's just trying to tag on that. Like, hey, he's playing the hits, kind of like, hey, remember this?
Fraud.
Okay. Cool.
This is the build-up.
This is crazy.
Brad, take your phone back
Sorry,
before I
let me
walk
get
out
my
of here.
phone back. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so anyway.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they let it go as long as it did, honestly.
All right. Thank you.
He's
I'm
mad.
gonna-
He's upset.
Yeah, he was mad.
Yeah.
Damn.
He wanted to fight me, you
didn't
guys.
It looked like Sneako hung up on his boy Bradley. I didn't even notice this the first time I watched it. I think he's probably pissed at everybody there. I mean, I kind of get it from his perspective, you know, being him. Like he kind of got attacked. He got assaulted. Not actually, but you know what I mean. Look, it looks like he hung up on him. He's like, "All right, thanks," and he's like, "He was
right.
mad." Look,
Thank you.
thank you.
He's
I'm
mad.
gonna-
He's
That's it.
upset.
Yeah, he was mad.
Yeah.
Damn.
He wanted to fight me, you
I didn't know the
guys.
tension was that high.
Well,
See,
no,
this is why I don't
because-
like your
No, but here's the thing.
content spaces. Like,
I don't-
that's,
I
that
don't
was
get
uncomfortable.
I don't get upset about Sneako. He doesn't bother me. I just
was
think he's a
uncomfortable.
despicable human being that is the antithesis of like everything I believe in.
Anyways, this is at the end of the day just good content. Just because I think that's what makes Ethan so great. Sometimes at making great content is because he doesn't have this like feeling of like it's really uncomfortable and like he just goes for it. Like he's a full sender, you know. But yeah, just the way he is. I don't know. I guess watching it, I just wanted to give some thoughts, especially when I feel like Bradley and Steiny were trying to back their boy up. I thought that was kind of interesting. I didn't know they had such a close relationship with Sneako. Maybe they don't, but I just don't know why they have to like defend him so much. Because it would be one thing if it would be one thing if they believed like let's say they were not Sneako's homie, but they did believe like, yo, he's changed. Like that's not fair to hold him to that or trying to make fun of him for something that happened to him, right? But it wasn't that. It was kind of like, it's fake, it's AI. No, he owned it. No, he wouldn't do something like that. I can't believe he said that. Oh, I'm comfortable. Like they were trying to defend him in so many ways, and I just found that to be interesting because it seemed like they were defending him to defend him, the individual, not because they actually were like trying to defend like the idea of somebody who shared this really embarrassing thing that happened to them. So I thought that was interesting. And this was by far like the most interesting part of this whole talk. Towards the end, they started talking about like transgender stuff. And it's just, it was kind of bad, honestly. Yeah, anyways, those are my thoughts. Yikes. Tough watch. I wonder if they'll actually have him on. I think it'd be interesting. I feel like Ethan always did really good at the debates, but I still think that this is not going to happen just because I think they've tried it before, if I'm not mistaken. They tried to have a little debate before. I don't know. I don't think Sneako's really ready for that type of debate, and I think he knows it, and I think he just doesn't want any part of it and rather just be in his little corner of the internet and doing his thing over there, whatever it is that he does. But yeah, that's the video. If you liked the video, don't forget to like it. If you want to see more, subscribe. Peace.